So I think that trading in Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of just dead. And that's ironic because Yu-Gi-Oh is a trading card game, but trading in Yu-Gi-Oh seems to have basically died. And I don't think that, it's too big of a surprise. There's reasons why I'll get into, but yeah, it's just a bit sad to see. Because when you think about like how a trading card game is supposed to work, you get starter decks or you buy packs or whatever to power up your deck and get new cards, and like you'll kind of randomly pull cards in your packs. The trading aspect comes in because you are supposed to, meet other friends and stuff who also play the game and have their own collection of cards. And if you're looking for a specific card for your collection or for your deck, and another person has that, then you can trade with them. So if you have a card that they need and they have a card that you need, then you swap, you trade the cards. And early on, at least when many of us were younger, if you're an old head like me, trading was quite a popular thing to do. If you liked how a card looked, if you just wanted a card that fit a certain type or whatever, a theme that your deck did, you would trade for it. And typically, the idea of monetary value and rarities for many of us did not exist, at least not as prominently. Yu-Gi-Oh cards have always had price tags, and there's always been like meta cards. I don't want to sort of paint this super nostalgic, pretty picture of like Yu-Gi-Oh being better in the good old days, because there were things that were good and there were also things that were just the same as they are today. But what I mean is like trading was more prominent. Even, as Yu-Gi-Oh aged and matured, I still think trading was a pretty important and just normal thing. As you get older and stuff, price tags start to matter. The player base gets older, so it's like more teenagers who are starting to be able to get like a part-time job and afford maybe certain cards that they weren't able to get when they were younger. And then of course nowadays adults, because as you guys know, Yu-Gi-Oh's primary audience, or maybe you don't know, but Yu-Gi-Oh's primary audience is definitely like the 18 to 24 and like 25 to 34 crowd. It's not really so much kids anymore. That's worrying for other reasons. But anyways, more people who do have disposable income and can afford cards. And as a result, price tags have become a more relevant factor or facet of collecting and just getting cards you need. Nowadays, I think trading just isn't popular because cards have the price tag of a card is so intertwined just with its value and the supply and the demand. If you ever need a card, you can buy it from TCG Player. You can buy it from any, online shop. You can grab it on eBay. Money will solve your problem. You don't have to necessarily pull a card if you don't want to. You don't have to necessarily trade for a card if you don't want to. And I think that has hurt the idea of trading. Also, just at card shops, these price tags immediately, like you can walk into any card shop and when people are trading, you hear the age-old thing like, oh, value on that card, value on that card, value on your water bottle. That's how Yu-Gi-Oh players trade. We trade the cards as though they are strictly currency and not cards. So it's not just about like, oh, I like your card, you like my card. We trade kind of regardless of the values of the individual cards. It's much more of a monetary transaction. We need to make sure that, this trade evens out. That's sometimes where you end up with sticklers who can be just really extreme. Like, my my end of this trade is worth $64.31 and yours is only $63.78. That's not even. You have to like throw in more things and make it. Those types can get annoying, but I understand where they're coming from because when the cards have such strictly defined monetary values, it's just kind of where you end up. People don't want to get gypped. They don't want to sort of lose money. And that's another thing too, is like, there's such a focus on, making a profit in a trade or losing money in a trade or, buying and selling. And then it gets into kind of the buyout culture and stuff that we have now where, cards get bought out and like people want to be on that wave of like, oh, I bought it before the buyout happened, or I caused the buyout, or oh, I invested in this when people were overlooking it. What was that? That's like a recent one. Fuse Line and Broken Line. One of those cards. I think it's whichever one it is that negates. I want to say that's Broken Line. that card like recently kind of had a big price spike. It's of course tapered off a bit now, but like this card that released 4 years ago or so ended up randomly down the line being like used in an event, and so while you could buy it at the time for like $1 or something, it was an ultra rare. Down the line, it's out of print, and now it's like 20, 30, whatever, how much it ended up. There's like more of that focus with cards. People are far more interested in, they see it as like an investing game. You're taking a risk. It's like a stock. That reminds me of a certain other trading card game right now. But, yeah, the whole point of this is just that trading in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dead, and it kind of makes me sad because, I guess I miss sort of the idea of like, I don't know, just kind of like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, I don't pay attention to card prices when I trade. Like, obviously, I'm not going to trade my playset of Lightning Storms or whatever, or Forbidden Droplets or something for some random common card or two. What I am saying, though, is just that I like when card values are something that's kind of more personal to the person. Personal to the person. You're losing it, Paul. The point is, I liked when, maybe a card's worth like $15, but like for the person trading it, 15's just kind of more of an average. It's more of like a sort of, it can fluctuate a bit. It could be like 12, 13, it could be 16, 17. If it's a card that they really are looking for, though, then they're willing to maybe change their value on a certain card that they have that you need, because trades are meant to be more so of a mutual benefit thing and not just a transaction. Like I said at the beginning, I know that the world is not this fine and dandy, and Yu-Gi-Oh's never truly been just like that. It was for kids, for some of us, when we were really young in elementary or middle school or something, but I mean, there've always been people who pay money for these cards and assign values to these cards, so that is a reality that exists. I do just sometimes miss trading as a means of simply getting the things you need and helping out your fellow player, especially when it's like at a card shop. Something about that really organic experience it just felt special to me. I don't know. I mean, I don't really find myself trading very much anymore. I know right now there aren't Yu-Gi-Oh events, like not really YCSs or regionals, but just in the last few years when I've gone to YCSs and regionals, I find that far fewer people even bring trade binders. For many of us in Team APS, myself certainly included, I sometimes just go to events and don't bring a trade binder. I see a lot of people who will bring stuff with the express intention of selling it to a vendor at an event, like a YCS or a regional, but very rarely are there people who are necessarily just looking to trade and like flipping through binders. You'll find loads of backpack vendors who will come and look through your binder and just try to buy everything off you, but they're not interested in trading. I always hated those types. It really sucks. They're usually pretty predatory too, looking for newer or younger players and kind of gypping them out of stuff. But that was an issue even when trading didn't involve money directly. So yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things that it seems like it's kind of going out of style. Money, like lots of other stuff in life, kind of just, it can ruin things, or at least it can change the nature of them and how people view and interact with them. And I don't think that's something that's ever going to really like change. I mean, we're just here now. Yu-Gi-Oh cards have price tags. The internet makes it all too well known. You can literally just grab your phone, look up a card price. That's how it's going to go. So I don't think that there's really any hope of that changing unless... No, actually, I can't think of any way that would. Maybe I'm missing something. Alright, anyways, I've gone on long enough about this. I definitely miss trading. I wish it could come back. I don't think it will, but it would be nice. And I also would love if, maybe people kind of could cool it a bit on like the buyout culture and the scalping culture, but you guys know my thoughts on that. There's other things. Alright, anyways, that's the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of the trading dilemma, or do you even think that it's a dilemma at all? I'd love to hear it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Pass turn.